Hey y'all, this is Harmony from Make It Weird. You may notice that the audio quality in these next few episodes doesn't sound quite as nice as it usually does. That's because it's not as nice. We made a small boo-boo while recording a few episodes, but as the great Alanis Morissette once said, you live, you learn. We'll have things back to our normal, crystal clear quality starting on mini-episode number 7. Allegedly. Thank y'all for listening and being patient as Haley and I navigate the scary podcast world. Enjoy the episode and keep it weird. Bye!
Yeah, girl, drink that tea. Is it nice and lukewarm like you like it?
It's actually pretty hot.
Ooh.
Like
you. Oh, I said the same about you.
Remember how I said I shouldn't scream that much and I just screamed?
It's okay. It's fine. We forgive you for screaming.
Anyways, I'm Harmony.
And she's also Harmony.
Correct.
I'm Haley.
And she's also Haley.
Correct.
And this is Make It Weird.
The
Hello.
podcast.
The podcast.
Hello.
The mini episode.
Oh my god.
Of the podcast.
So it's a little bit smaller than the normal
Correct.
episodes. Okay.
Yeah, it's like smaller.
But what do we do in these minis?
Well, we talk but faster and smaller.
I'm talking really fast. Oh my god, sorry. Incredible. Thank you.
No, during our minis, we like to go over current events, make it a little bit shorter and sweeter for you. We end things with Cutie Pie Corner.
Just like Sabrina Carpenter, short and sweet.
She is this short and sweet little thing.
I don't know anything about her, except she's beautiful.
She's very pretty. She was on Disney Channel.
I did know that,
okay.
Yes. And people are mad because they keep bringing their kids to her concerts and they don't listen to her music beforehand to realize that she's kind of just horny all the time.
But I love her music for that very purpose, honestly.
Do you relate to being horny all the time?
Yeah.
Don't answer that. Thank you.
So we're going to start with our bi-weekly mini episode.
Headline-A-Thon.
I like how we both said thon.
Thon.
Headline-A-Thon.
Oh, Headline-A-Thon.
All right. I have 4 and a little bonus. I'd like my little bonus to be the last one, if that's cool.
Yeah, so does that mean that I go first?
Yeah,
I have 5. So yes, if I have 5 and you have 5, then I should go first. So this one cracked me up, and I hate how relevant it is. I try not to talk about politics on this podcast because I will get very upset about some things. Greenland, again, tells Trump it is not for sale. Have you heard about this? He keeps talking about...
I'm trying not to, spray my chai foam everywhere from laughing at that. No, has he been trying to buy it?
Yes, he keeps talking about how, we need to take over Canada and buy Greenland.
Oh, boy.
For why? He's like, all the Americans want this. I don't.
The problem is that he's manic and has dementia.
Yeah, for sure.
So he just decides things.
Randomly.
Whatever they be. And right now, I guess it's buying Greenland.
China.
China. Greenland doesn't even have that much.
I think they have natural resources. I think I believe they have oil, and then I want to say they're one of the countries that's able to produce energy entirely through water. They have dams and stuff.
Yeah, they should keep that shit locked down and away from us Americans so we don't ruin it for them.
For real, and they have good healthcare.
Yeah.
Unlike us.
Honestly, can we just move to Greenland? Was that what we need to do?
I would see if he brought Canada into the US but made the US have Canadian healthcare, I'd be for it.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Yeah. Not a lot of Canadians would be, but yeah. All right. Maryland man disrupts 2 Christmas Eve masses, pouring whiskey in holy water and hurling tangerines.
Oh my god, no, I saw the whiskey and holy water thing this morning. What the fuck?
Throwing tangerines, I guess.
Why?
I don't know. He really likes Christmas.
That's the Christmas spirit.
Honestly, that's the kind of Christmas I want. Make my holy water alcoholic and throw oranges at me.
And then dunk the babies in the alcoholic holy water.
Obviously, correct.
Baptized in whiskey.
Yes.
That sounds like it would be a really good country song.
Baptized in whiskey. Is that already a country song? Country music fans, tell us.
Get Bobby on the line right now. All right. Angry Chipotle customer attacks employee over refund, makes own bowl behind counter.
I saw that one too. Bro, people out just living in retail environments are losing their shit. There are no rules anymore.
Oh, yeah, of course not.
I saw a woman 2 weeks ago at Smashburger, calm down.
Wait. In person?
In person. She kicked a caution, wet floor sign on her way out because she was so pissed off that something was taking too long.
I genuinely, thoroughly believe that COVID destroyed a lot of people's ability to,
Yes.
be out in public. People, it's like socializing a dog.
Yeah.
You can do really well as a puppy, but then, a year goes by and you haven't done anything with them and they get sometimes reactive again. It's just like
a lot
humans.
of dogs, including my 3, suffered social withdrawal during COVID, and they're not very social anymore.
Izzy social withdrawal every time that I go to work.
Yeah.
She gets really sad.
That poor little thing.
You know, she was like so happy when I was work from home for like 3 years, and then
sweet little thing. I know she was. Yeah, that is tough to go from work.
Yeah.
Go from work from home. Wow, that's hard to say for some reason.
It's okay.
Work from home from work from not home.
Work from home.
It's hard to do. All right. Luigi Mangione's sweater sells out at Nordstrom one day after court appearance.
Fuck yeah.
You know his like maroon cable knit sweater he was wearing?
Dude, I love that.
I love it. People are obsessed with him, and like I just think it's great.
He's handsome.
He's handsome.
He's a good looking guy.
Like
for real.
Oh my god.
The picture of him hiking in Hawaii.
Bro.
Shirtless.
Bro.
Listen, I'm not gonna get too conspiracy theorist. I don't think it's him.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying that they don't think it's him.
Well, because the backpack and the jacket that he wore in the hostel does not look at all like the one that the shooter was wearing.
Right.
Like, it's just, I don't know.
Imagine though if that's true, if it's not him, imagine being in his shoes. Like,
yeah, for real.
And then did you see, sorry to get into this whole thing, but did you see his lawyer, like, ripped the mayor a new one because of the whole, like, giant artillery that they had transferring him, like...
Yeah, no, because they're making it like a show. They're making a production out of this.
Yes, exactly. They want to act big and scary.
Yeah.
And, it's wild.
Yeah. No, I have big thoughts on this, but I'm
I mean, people are doing episodes out the wazoo on this whole thing. It's not for us, but it sure is interesting.
All right. I'm sorry. Are you ready?
Yes.
Lil Pump mocked after performing Gucci Gang while shirtless at his grandmother's 90th birthday party. Quote, "This is elder abuse." Dude,
First of all, he's performing at his 90-year-old grandma's birthday party. Shut up. That's hilarious.
Dude. Maybe she asked him to.
Maybe.
Because, like, if I had a grandson who was very popular for even just a really stupid one-off song,
right,
I'd be like,
yeah,
sure,
my
little
birthday.
Pump it up, little pump. Proud of you.
Oh, that's great. Woman who warned social media not to fall for Keanu Reeves' romance scam becomes homeless after falling for Keanu Reeves' romance scam.
No, that was one of my headlines for the next mini. You stole that from me. I have to find a new one.
It's so funny though.
Oh my god, it's so ridiculous.
Oh my god.
This is our first time of us having the same headline.
It is. It's just not in the same episode, but yeah, that's really funny. I wonder if there will be more. But I'm sorry, that just the headline of like, don't fall for Keanu Reeves' romance scam. I fell for Keanu Reeves' romance scam. Like, it's very funny.
There's a book that's literally called Keanu Reeves Doesn't Love You. That's about Keanu Reeves' romance scams.
Can we have an entire episode where we just read that?
Yes. Well, I also read that article too. I don't know if you looked into it.
No, I didn't.
So she fell for it once, and she, like, the quote-unquote Keanu Reeves messaged her and was like, I need you to prove that you're not into me for the money, so go out and get a $500 gift card and send it to me. And she did, and then she realized, oh my god, that's a scam. So then she came out and was like, hey guys, don't fall for this thing. It's a scam. And then she fucking fell for it again.
Girl, she just wants to find love.
Yeah. Doctors remove live cockroach from the intestine of a man complaining about abdominal issues.
No, don't like that. Throw it out. Get it away from my memory.
I want the cockroach, and then I want the live chick that was pulled from the guy's stomach.
Have a conversation.
Yes, to tell me about... Yes.
Kentucky funeral home sued after mixing up cremated remains and giving one family soil instead of ashes.
Isn't this literally what we talked about? We
were just talking about how human cremains are not treated respectfully, but dog ones are.
Yeah, for real. I hate it so much.
It's sad.
It is.
Also, ashes should not... They don't look like soil. Like, I would hope like that would have been pretty easy for someone to figure out.
You would fucking think. This one actually breaks my heart, and I kind of included this one because it pissed me off. The next story, my full story for the mini is also one that pissed me off. Pregnant Kentucky woman cited for street camping while in labor.
Oh my god.
Yes. It was a homeless woman. And the saddest part is when this news story starts, a police officer walks up to her and she's on the street on a mattress, like laying there because she's in pain. Her partner had left to go and find someone to call a hospital to get her an ambulance ride. So she's laying on this mattress by the road. A garbage truck comes over and is like, we need to take this mattress away. So she gets up and she moves over. The police officer is like, you can't be laying there. She's like, dude, I'm in labor. And he goes, I don't believe that. And he cites her.
Imagine being gaslit for being in labor.
Yeah. She ripped up the citation, and then a hospital, like an ambulance did arrive to take her to the hospital where she did give birth.
Holy shit.
But like, imagine you're already homeless. You have a baby on the way. You're actively giving birth, so you're stressed out from those two things. And then a fucking cop from Kentucky decides that they're gonna charge you for being homeless. Like, that's what that is.
Get fucked.
Yeah, no, it's so stupid.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
That's awful.
It made me mad. Homeless people are still people.
I was gonna say that the sad thing is she probably wouldn't be able to ever afford a lawyer to sue the city, but that is absolutely something you should sue them for.
You would think, yeah. I hope that a lawyer comes on and takes the case pro bono, but
yeah, absolutely.
Who knows?
God, and it's insane.
But the thing is, there are multiple cities in the U.S. where being homeless is a crime. And the Supreme Court has upheld that that's legal, that they can just say, no, you can't camp. You can't camp in public parks is what they're saying it, but like you're directly targeting the homeless population.
Right, exactly. That was your last one, right?
Yes.
So, I have an update on the thing that you just mentioned about the baby chick being swallowed.
Oh, yes?
Yes. So, the reason that this man swallowed a live chick is sad, but also like, bro. So, the sudden death of a 35-year-old man only became more shocking when his autopsy revealed a live baby bird potentially swallowed as part of an occult fertility ritual lodged in his throat.
Where was he from?
India.
Okay.
That's the one where it was Chhattisgarh, or however you say it.
Okay.
So, Anand Yadav, I'm sorry, I'm probably saying that wrong, collapsed in his home after feeling dizzy and fainting shortly after taking a bath. He was rushed to a nearby hospital where doctors were initially puzzled about the cause of death. During the autopsy, Dr. Santu Bag discovered a live chick approximately 20 centimeters long lodged in Yadav's throat.
20 centimeters long?
Yeah, that's what it says. This is also a shady website. The chick had obstructed his airway and food passage, causing asphyxiation. Quote, "This is the first time I have encountered such a case in my career. Dr. Bag, who has performed 15,000 autopsies today. Imagine your last name being Bag. Dr. Bag." I know this is in India, so bag doesn't mean the same thing for them, but it's very funny to me. Villagers claim Yadav had been consulting a tantric or occultist due to struggles with infertility and suspect that swallowing a chick was part of the ritual intended to help him become a father.
Oh,
which is very sad that he felt the need to go to that length. But, bro, you gotta know that swallowing a live bird is probably not the answer.
No, it's the way to go.
But, like, the bird, they pulled it out of his throat, so it was in his throat.
Yeah, so not his stomach, but, like, his throat.
For a long time. Like, he didn't asphyxiate immediately, which doesn't really make sense to me, but it was cited in a bunch of other articles as being the case, so...
Poor bird. I hope the bird, like, lives a good, happy life.
Yeah, there was something that was like, they were like, we know the bird was alive, but we don't know where the bird is now. Which, honestly, like, I would love to know where the bird is now.
Tell me where that bird is.
Yeah, somebody should start a podcast and tell us the life and times of the baby chick that was swallowed.
The chick who lived. Okay, so the chick that was swallowed, that survived, and the cockroach pulled out of the intestine, come together, and they make a podcast, and they name it Make It Weird. Which one are you?
The chick.
I'm the cockroach.
I was gonna say, yeah,
I'm the cockroach.
If there's a bug involved, you're the bug.
Bugs for life. I'm wearing a bug sweater
This
if you're
girl
not
loves
looking.
her bugs.
I do.
I respect bugs
You should.
from afar. I like seeing pinned up, like, dead, dry bugs and stuff. I don't want them in my house.
It's really rude.
I killed a spider yesterday.
No.
It was in a place that Bobby goes frequently, and I just couldn't subject him to that.
No, that's fair.
My poor sweet angel Bobby, my husband, he just really dislikes spiders, and I try to save him when I can.
So you ready for some weekly stories?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a story in Georgia. Homeowner ends up in jail after calling police to remove squatter living inside her house.
Oh, I saw this, and I'm really glad you're telling me about it, because I didn't have time to look into it.
Dude, so squatters fucking freak me out. I've literally been terrified of, like, going on vacation and somebody being in my house since, like, 2019.
Well, remember when Phrogging was, like, a huge thing?
No.
You know what I'm talking about, Phrogging?
No. What is Phrogging?
It's basically squatting, but, like, it was a trend, I want to say early 2000s, where it's people squatting in a house, but no one, like, they're living in a part of the house.
Oh, yes, I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's where, like, somebody, like, there'd be, like, some attic access in their cupboard or something, and somebody living up there. Oh, my God.
Yes, living in their walls or something.
I didn't know it had a name.
Yeah, Phrogging.
God, no, there was First of all, my family's house does have an attic, like, growing up, but it was one of the ones where you have to, like, pull the ladder down.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to get up there and pull the thing shut. But I saw a video once where a man's, like, food was getting taken and eaten and stuff, and so he set up a camera in his kitchen, and it was somebody crawling through an attic access, like, in the cupboard.
Yep.
And I was convinced that there was somebody living in my house.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, side rant, because I saw an article, no, it wasn't an article, it was just a Reddit thread. Someone, I want to say it was in the UK, where they're like condos, a big stretch of condos are all connected, and there's like, I don't know, 10 units to a building or something. And they were saying, all of the units have these, it is an attic, kind of, but it's more like a little door that you open that could be open from either side. And it actually connects all of the units. And there's really nothing stopping anyone from going in between them. And so somebody posted, they're like, my husband and I woke up to all of I guess there was more than one, all of them open. And then there was the whole thread about, like, you should really get those latched because there is access to all of them, like, et cetera, et cetera.
I saw that thread. Dude, there was a comment in that thread, because one of the things I love to do is I love just reading comments.
Yes.
One of the comments was like, I lived in a condo like that as a kid, and when we figured that out, we would go into people's houses and just move shit around all the time.
That's awful.
That's
Do you
so
remember
funny.
the story? Not super recent, but I want to say it was in the 2000s, of a guy that was hiding in the walls of this people's house, and it was like 2 daughters and a dad, like the mom had died recently or something, I think. And the daughters, like, kept hearing these awful noises, and they were convinced it was a ghost, and they finally convinced the dad to take it seriously and everything. And I want to say he was like a murderer that was hiding in their walls or something.
Are you telling me the plot of a movie right now?
I'm genuinely not. It's an actual story. I'm pretty sure My Favorite Murder covered it at some point. Yeah.
Well, if you can find it, let me know, because I'm definitely...
Watch me be so wrong.
Because what was that movie? I See You or something like that?
Yeah, there was a similar movie. Yeah. They were Phrogging, I think, if we're thinking of the same movie.
Ribbit.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, anyways.
Okay.
Tell me your story.
Sure. Yeah, I totally forgot what we were doing, I'll be so honest. So back in August of 2024, Valetha Hale of Clayton County, Georgia, found a squatter in her home. She'd previously been renting her home out to a tenant, but after that tenant was evicted, she began the process of prepping it for a new one. However, when she went to her home, there was someone present there whom she had never interacted with. A squatter had taken up residence.
No, thank you.
So just to explain to those that might not know what a squatter is, I don't know if that's a term outside the US, but it's someone who is occupying a building or a home without legal claim or title to it. While it should be considered trespassing, in most states there are squatters' rights that allow them to continue living in the place after being discovered as residents, requiring the landlord or homeowner to go through, like, the whole eviction process to remove them. So like I said before, this is kind of like one of my biggest fears, to, like, go away on vacation, maybe for a week or two, and you come back and someone's been living in there, because it can be so quick for someone to establish residency. In some cases, it's literally just getting mail sent to the house.
Right.
So, like, if somebody that doesn't like you decides that they want to fuck with you when they know you're going on vacation, then, like, whoops.
Yeah, when you go to New Hampshire, I'll be
living
in your house.
Dude, well, that was when we were looking at, like, houses and stuff. I told Casey, I was like, man, if you buy a house and, like, we're supposed to be moving in there, I'm coming back every fucking weekend. Like,
to make sure nobody's not living in there? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god, and I was like, I'll give Harmony a key and she can just go by, like, on Wednesdays when we're not there too.
My neighbors were telling me about, like, a previous house they lived in. One of their neighbors was gone for a certain amount of time, and, like, someone came in with moving trucks and started just, like, taking all of their shit, but, like, acted like they were, like, movers.
I believe it.
Yeah.
100%.
Wild.
Yeah, because there are awful people that will take advantage of situations like that because you're not there to stop them.
Yeah.
So she saw this person who she didn't know in her house, and so she did the right thing. She called the police and went through the courts to handle the squatter. Or at least, well, she tried to. So back in August, the police were called and they cited the squatter according to the new Georgia Squatter Reform Act. And what the Georgia Squatter Reform Act does, it's brand new this year, it made squatting a misdemeanor, and it allows police to issue citations to squatters, which is great for homeowners and landlords that have somebody squatting in their residency. After they're cited, the squatters have 3 days to either leave or prove that they have a right to reside in the home. So she ends up going to court, the squatter, to push back on the citation, which you legally have a right to do. And the courts actually decide that the alleged squatter, Sakemia, Sakemeya,
That would have been my guess, the first one you said. Yeah.
So, the alleged squatter, Sakemia Johnson, technically isn't a squatter because she was actually related to the previous evicted tenant's partner.
Oh.
So not even the tenant, but the partner of the tenant.
But you're not the one paying rent. I don't understand.
I completely agree. And that's exactly what Miss Hale said, too. She was like, how can she not be squatting when I've never had any type of contract relationship with this person? Like, I don't know who this is. I've never met her before today. So Miss Hale, the owner of the property, begins fighting the courts. Stuff was moving. And then eventually, there are a couple of different court cases going on. But Miss Johnson, the squatter, to try to put a pause on everything, files bankruptcy and lists Miss Hale as her sole debtor.
Wow.
Which, when bankruptcy's going on, obviously that puts a big stop on stuff because you've got to go through that whole process.
And this is in the U.S.?
This is in Georgia.
Oh, that's okay.
So, eventually, after multiple appeals, a judge issues a final judgment in Hale's favor, the owner of the property, and the squatter could be removed. So Miss Hale goes back to the property, begins doing all of her stuff, painting, changing the locks, getting the person's stuff out, and guess who shows up?
The fucking squatter.
The squatter and a friend. She brought a friend, so they break in, and they start yelling at Miss Hale, and Miss Hale calls the police, because as far as Miss Hale knows, this is her property. The squatter has no...
this is breaking and entering. It should be.
Yeah, the squatter has no right to be there. So the police are called, so Miss Hale is heard on the phone, like, on 911, like, don't, like, go away from me, stay away from me, or I'll pull my gun out on you. Not like those exact words, but, like, she's older. She's probably freaked the fuck out.
I would be.
If I had somebody who
a
was...
stranger walks into your house?
Yeah.
Like, that should be cause for defending yourself.
Completely agree. So the police arrive, and they cite Miss Hale for illegal eviction, saying she doesn't have the writ of possession in order to legally evict a tenant. The reason this is because of that bankruptcy filing, the judge hadn't actually signed anything saying that the squatter could be removed and that Miss Hale could take back possession of the home.
Fuck.
So by going in and changing the locks, even though the courts had ruled in her favor, they hadn't taken action, she had acted illegally.
This is like hellish.
I know.
This is a nightmare.
Exactly. So she is charged, Miss Hale, the owner of this property, her property, with criminal trespassing and a misdemeanor count of terroristic threats because of her comment about go away or I'll shoot you.
That shouldn't be terrorism. That's protecting yourself in your own home. I don't understand.
The squatter has not been charged with any crimes.
Oh my god. And are they still living there right now? I would assume.
Yeah.
This is wild. Like, how does this even happen? How does our justice system let shit like this pass?
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous, but that's it. That was my...
That's a crazy story, though.
It is. It's buck wild, and, like, this just...
We should try to, like, watch that one and see if there's a follow-up at any point, because that poor woman.
Listen, landlords for the most part suck, right?
Yes.
Like, I get that. But also, if you are a homeowner and you own multiple properties and you're doing the right thing of trying to move on and get your shit ready and somebody comes in and just starts fucking... Like, no.
No, that's horrifying, because I've thought about when we move, keeping this house and renting it out, but there's shit like that's kind of an extreme, but there's all kinds of shit where it's just like dealing with people you don't know, fucking with your house. It's like, I don't know if I want to deal with that. Like,
and
it would be much easier if it was a place that I hadn't lived in, but it's like when a place I've lived in, I put a lot of time and money into to make it nice. I'm like, what if someone comes in here and fucks that shit up?
Yeah,
and that's if you sell it, you're also not.
But that's always, like, a risk that you have to take as a landlord. And that's one of the things, like, how we end up with a lot of slumlords. Is, like, people don't realize that risk and that level of responsibility that comes with renting out a place. And
because you have to have a property manager. Like,
they don't have to, but it's definitely recommended.
Yeah, well, you either are the property manager or you hire someone, and it's a full-time job to be a property manager.
Like, I personally don't think it's worth it to rent just because you're not making too much more, especially right now if you were to buy a property, like, with
right now is a different story for sure.
Anyway,
that was really good though.
Thank you. It's been about your story.
Mine's
hopefully it's
quite
not
a bit shorter, but it just had to be read.
Tell me.
Primarily because I'm from Texas, and as much as I hate Texas, I do love Texas.
I meant to ask you a question. Why are they called 10-gallon hats?
Because they can hold 10 gallons of water. I don't actually fucking know.
But my head can't hold 10 gallons of water.
But the hat could.
Could it?
Probably not.
Just read your story.
Alexa, why is it called a 10-gallon hat?
The 10-gallon hat is a hat with a wide, flat brim that was popular in the Wild West. The name 10-gallon hat comes from the grating around the brim, which is similar to the grating on a bucket that holds 10 gallons of water. The hats were not actually capable of holding that much water, but the name became associated with them because of their large size and the grating on them.
Huh, interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
It's not that interesting.
No.
I wanted it to be more interesting.
Me too. It's kind of disappointing.
All right. Texas police seize over 34,000 stolen avocados from a semi-truck.
Oh my god.
This also felt very in line with your original, like, cheese story.
Cheese
heist.
Yes.
Now we have an avocado heist.
Oh my god, put them together and you have a nice nacho and guacamole mix.
Oh, yummy! Oh, that sounds delicious.
All right. Taco Bell.
They don't have guacamole, do they?
No.
And if they do, I don't want it.
It's just slop.
Ew.
Wait, some green
it's just
slop.
brown because it's oxidized. Ew. And like when avocados oxidize, they are a brownish gray. Like it's a nasty color.
I don't like it.
Yeah, of course you
I'll
do.
dye my hair that color. No.
Texas police uncovered a delicious and unexpected surprise during a recent traffic stop. After whoever wrote this article, I need to go in and grab their name because they did a great job. After learning of a cargo theft reported to the Laredo Police Department, the Hill County Sheriff's Office was notified on December 13th that an 18-wheeler believed to be connected to the crime was in the area. Hill County Sheriff's Deputy Ty Hardy, great name, and a Texas DPS trooper found a semi-truck with a description and license plate matching the report traveling north on I-35. I-35 will be under construction. It has been under construction since it started, like since it was built, and it will be under construction until we all burn in hell. Yeah. Literally.
Just like the monorail in Hawaii.
Yes. They pulled the truck over, but were surprised by what was hiding inside. More than 34,000 avocados.
How much does that weigh?
How much does it weigh? And also, an avocado nowadays is like $2 or $3 per avocado.
That's like $100,000.
So much money.
Dude. Felony.
All right, so quote from one of the sheriffs. We believe this to be the largest stolen avocado recovery in the history of Hill County. I'm sorry, just the fact that there have been more.
Yeah.
And it was certainly Deputy Hardy's largest stolen avocado recovery of his career.
Thank you for telling me that.
They wrote this on Facebook.
Oh my god. I love when police departments have active Facebook pages.
Oh, the one for Waterford is good.
Yeah.
Do you follow them?
No, I don't.
Oh, they're like sassy as fuck.
Dude,
I love them.
So I found out one of my friends, you know who you are. I'm not going to tell your name for the privacy of your family and everybody. One of my friends came over for Christmas Thanksgiving when I was in Charleston visiting family. And she was talking about, I was like, hey, how's your brother doing? And she was like, oh, well, he's out of jail now. And I was like, he got arrested? And she was like, yeah, he ran from the police on a motorcycle. And she pulled up the police Facebook page where they had like talked about, they were like doing timestamp like, updates. It was like 2 or 3 hours of him running.
Oh my god.
And they were like, perpetrator is doing rude hand signals while he's driving on his bike. Perpetrator is like swerving back and forth and having a great time running from the cops. And I'm like,
oh my god, listen, don't do crimes, don't run from the cops, but that's really funny.
But if you do, you should do it like in a cool way. Yeah.
The Laredo Police Department requested that the driver be released. The tens of thousands of stolen avocados, which were held in a refrigerated trailer, have been taken to a secure location to be transferred to the victim company. Quote, no avocados were harmed during this incident, the sheriff's office wrote.
They're a little bruised up. Come on.
They're having a great time with this.
Oh my goodness.
In the comments under the police department post, this is my favorite part of the story. The avocado-themed jokes continued, and then there's a bunch of them. I bet the other officers were green with envy. We should have an avocado festival and then do it every year to celebrate the day that the avocados were saved.
I think that would be so much fun, actually. Really cute. Yeah.
When are we making guacamole?
Valid.
Right up there with the great avocado train robbery of 1870. And the last quote, which this person put in here and I think is so funny. Nice job.
That's incredible. Just nice job.
I love that they thought it was good enough to put in this article. All right, so the article came from the Cron by Ariana Garcia, the assistant news editor. Thank you, Ariana Garcia. You have a wonderful sense of humor.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a great article. Oh my god, that was so fun.
All right, is it time for
Cutie Pie Corner? It is! And this week's Cutie Pie is actually a couple of cutie pies, and it's a collection generally of cutie pies.
A collection of cutie pies. C-O-C-P-C.
C-O-C-P-C, yes. You know me.
C-O-C-P-C.
C-O-C-P-C. That's the new name of a droid in a Star Wars movie. So, I found out about this phenomenon recently, and I almost made this into a full episode, but I just felt like I couldn't find enough information to really make it into like a full.
Yeah.
So this is about the best dogs in the whole world.
Oh, yay! Like dogs who've done something really amazing? Or like types of breeds?
These are great dogs.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So in recent history, we have seen a lot of political protests. Citizens fight for their rights, and who else would stand proudly beside them, begging for scraps and scratches, but dogs. So
dogs have always been very political. I've always said this.
Really, though. So we have a phenomenon occurring where during protests and riots, stray dogs come out and get buddy-buddy with protesters.
Oh.
They're called riot dogs.
Oh.
And they'll even begin fighting police and jumping in the way when police are trying to detain or hurt protesters.
Oh.
They are right alongside them, having the absolute time of their lives.
Bless.
So, two popular riot dogs are Luka Nikos, whose name means sausage. And he was a stray active during the Athens protests of 2009 through 2012. And El Negro Matapacos, whose name means the black cop killer, and for the record, he's a black dog that kills cops. He's not killing black cops.
That's not a great name.
But he was active during the 2011 Santiago protests in Chile.
Mm-hmm.
So Lukanikos was known to hold his ground with police and even try to form a protective line by running back and forth between protesters and authorities. As a result, he also faced violence from militarized forces clashing with protesters in Athens. Recognizing the danger of tear gas canisters in the street, Lukanikos learned to pick them up and move them away from protesters. And he did it pretty often.
Bless him.
There's a picture from 2011 of him doing this. His hair is like all stood up. He's bending over a spewing canister and opening his mouth like wide to grab it while the demonstrators are looking on. This dog unfortunately passed away in 2014, but he was well loved and he was adopted afterwards. Yeah, like that's a common thing that you see. These dogs become like big symbols of protest, and it's very, very sweet.
That's sweet.
So in the 2011 Santiago protests, they were protesting people in Chile for equality in education and demanding a creation of a national public education system for the country. This pup just wanted kids to be able to learn. Like, that's really what he wanted. What I love about this dog specifically, El Negro Matapacos, is he wasn't actually a stray. This was someone's dog, and the dog would go out and like walk around campus. And so when these protests started happening, it kind of knew the students and obviously was getting pets and stuff. The owner had no idea the dog was doing this. One day the dog just returned home soaked with water because he had been getting blasted with fire hoses with the protesters.
That's kind of scary. Those fire hoses are very pressurized. I'm glad he was okay.
Yeah. Student protesters said that El Negro Matapacos always understood which side was the enemy, with one demonstrator even saying the pup knew without question which uniform to bark at and which to defend. Countless photos showed the riot dog facing off with police, pacing back and forth amongst the front lines of protesters and getting spayed with water hoses. He passed away in 2017, but he lived a very long, fulfilling life. When he was out there, people would tie bandanas around his neck, red and blue, because that was what the protesters were doing to symbolize their unity, and he was a part of it. It's very, very sweet.
I love that. So sweet.
Quoting Sherry Rose, the owner of the website Blurred Bylines, which is where I got a lot of this information from, as a general rule of thumb, when a dog doesn't like somebody, that person probably deserves a second look. So when riot dogs across the globe choose to protect protesters in direct opposition to the militarized police they're facing off against, perhaps there's something to be learned for the rest of us. After all, the dog's instincts don't lie.
Truly, they do not.
Yeah.
I have a little dog named Baby. I've mentioned her before. I have 3 dogs, and she's the best one by far. Everyone loves her. She's basically perfect. Like, I'm not being biased. Like, she's kind of the perfect dog. And she likes everyone. There have been, like, 2 or 3 people in my life that she has picked out that she said, I'm not cool with you, and she was fucking right.
Yeah. Would you like to see some photos?
Yes.
Here's Luka Nikos.
Oh, look at him trying to get that gas can.
Yeah.
And he looks ferocious. He's not fucking around.
Oh no, like his hackles are up.
Yeah.
That's him barking at police.
Oh my god, just standing there.
Yeah. And this is
Oh, that's really sweet.
yeah.
Is that like a mural on the street? Oh, that's really cute.
Of El Negro Matapacos. Yeah, so he became a symbol of protest, and there are multiple murals that popped up with his image.
I just love when people in the community have the same like love and respect for one animal. I just think it's so sweet.
Oh yeah, like that animal revered.
Lovely.
Thank you. I only picked out 2 dogs.
There's a lot of articles I've seen about like, well, and they'll do like a wrap every year of like the best dogs of the year or something.
Aww.
Dogs have done really really cool things.
It's always our dogs.
Obviously,
Yeah.
yes. It's Copper, Izzy, Baby, and Miko. They win every year.
It's amazing.
It's
Honestly,
wild, yeah.
we don't pay the judges off.
Thank you for that. I love dog stories.
You're
That was
welcome.
lovely. Yeah, I think that's
That's it. That's
Anything
it for...
else?
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook,
You know
Twitter.
what to do.
Not Twitter, TikTok.
No, fuck Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we say that every episode.
Yeah, fuck Elon Musk.
Fuck Elon Musk. Have you
Fuck that H1B having ass
have
bitch.
we talked on the episode about the Facebook groups of people that have a Tesla truck
Oh my
that
God.
are like that like talk together about like the insane problems they have with the truck, but the
Yes.
attitude is always like, yeah, but like overall, like I'm really happy with it. Like it was still a good decision.
It's falling in front of the highway and it caught fire 4 times, but like, it's fine.
But literally, it'll be horrible things like that. Like,
Have
and
you
they're
heard
like,
about the
"That's fine."
people dying in car fires in Teslas?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is really quick and then we'll wrap up the video.
Yeah.
So what's happening is there's like one motherboard that controls everything in the Tesla, and or something like that. But the cars will catch fire, and when the electronics go out, the doors won't open because the doors open electronically. They'll be locked. People will be stuck inside burning Teslas. It's happened. I read 2 news stories about it, at least in the past 6 months, where like families passed away because of this.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That is horrible. Did you know that you have to sign an NDA before you can buy a Tesla truck?
I believe that.
If you have to do that, don't buy that.
Yeah,
Whatever it is that you need to sign an NDA for, don't buy that.
maybe.
Probably. On most occasions.
It's fine.
Like Monday through Thursday.
Do you know what else you need to sign an NDA for?
This episode?
Listening to our podcast, yes.
True.
Paperwork will be coming directly to your mailing addresses. Please check your post office boxes and whatever else you might get letters in the next 3 days.
And if we catch you listening to this episode and you haven't signed it, you're in trouble. Thank you for listening
To
Make It Weird.
The
Bye.
minisode. Oh, bye.
Also the minisode. Bye.
Bye.